Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah,
Today we're doing something a bit different, something really practical, I think, for anyone in the business or tech world looking to, level up their English.
that's right.
We're not just listing definitions. We want to get into the actual language you hear. Day in, day out, in meetings, on calls, reading tech news. It's about really feeling confident when you speak.
Exactly. It's about context, isn't it? Not just the word, but how it's used, how these ideas connect. The goal, really, is to make you more capable, more impactful in your professional communication.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's imagine we're following a really dynamic tech company. We'll call them, I don't know, Innovate Labs.
Sounds good.
And they're developing and launching this innovative AI-powered product.
Yeah.
We'll walk through the key terms that pop up at every single stage of their journey, showing you how you can use them effectively.
Sort of a story following the language.
Exactly. Think of it as, well, your guide to speaking the language of innovation fluently. So every big project, especially in tech, it starts with a vision, doesn't it? Innovate Labs, they're dreaming big. They want to fundamentally change things in their industry.
hmm
And that often kicks off with a major overhaul, what we usually call a transformation.
Yeah, transformation, it's a big word and it means a big change, not just tweaking things. It's a profound shift in how a company operates, its structure, maybe its whole strategy, often driven by tech, like you said.
Okay, you might hear something like,
Like our company is undergoing a massive digital transformation to streamline operations. It implies a deep strategic move, not just a small project.
and driving these transformations very often is what we call emerging tech.
Right.
This is the really new stuff, the technologies that are still, developing but have huge potential. Think cutting edge AI, maybe quantum computing, advanced robotics, that sort of thing.
Technologies that aren't fully mainstream yet, but companies are betting on them?
Exactly. So Innovate Labs might say, we're investing heavily in emerging tech, specifically advanced AI, to get a competitive edge.
Yeah.
It signals they're looking ahead.
Okay, so they have the big vision, this transformation idea fueled by emerging tech, but how do they actually plan to get there? That's where the roadmap comes in.
Ah, the roadmap. Essential.
Totally essential. A roadmap is, well, it's the plan. It's a strategy laid out over time, showing the steps, the milestones to reach a goal. The product team presented a clear roadmap for the next 2 years. It guides everyone,
Keeps everyone on the same page.
pretty much.
Now, before Innovate Labs bets the farm on building this huge AI product based on the roadmap, they'd probably start smaller, right? They build a prototype.
Oh, absolutely. A prototype is like an early sketch, a basic working model. You build it to test the core concept, the main idea.
Get feedback.
Exactly. Get that crucial early user feedback before you sink massive resources into full development. So you'd hear, we built a basic prototype to get user feedback quickly. It's about learning fast and reducing risk.
Okay, so let's tie those first few together for Innovate Labs. They have this ambitious roadmap guiding a major transformation. It's all powered by emerging tech, like AI. And they're starting smart with a simple prototype to test the waters. You see how these terms set the stage?
Yeah, it paints the initial picture perfectly. So once that prototype gets some positive feedback, maybe confirms the direction from the roadmap, Innovate Labs needs to build the real thing. And that requires, well, infrastructure.
Right, infrastructure. That sounds foundational.
It is. Think of infrastructure as all the basic systems and services needed for something to run. In tech, that usually means servers, cloud platforms, networks, data storage, the underlying stuff.
The plumbing, almost.
Kind of, yeah. You need robust plumbing. So our cloud infrastructure needs to be solid enough to handle high traffic for our AI. Without it, the application just won't work reliably.
And tied very closely to infrastructure is scalability. This one comes up constantly.
Constantly. Scalability is critical. It's a system's ability to handle growth, more users, more data, more complexity without, falling over.
So it can grow with demand.
Precisely. So a key requirement is the platform needs high scalability. You design for it from the start, hoping your product becomes successful and needs to scale up.
Okay, solid infrastructure, designed for scalability. How do people actually use this thing? Or how do other systems connect to it? That brings us to the interface.
Yep, the interface. It's simply the point of connection. It
Right.
could be the screen a user interacts with the user interface, or UI, or it could be how two software systems talk to each other, an API, an application programming interface.
So making it easy to use is key.
Absolutely. The user interface is designed to be very intuitive. That's always the goal. Make it easy for people.
And you want that interface to be, well, interactive, don't you? Not just static.
Definitely. Interactive means it responds to you. It allows communication, engagement in real time. Think of a dashboard that updates live or lets you click around and explore data.
Like, our new dashboard is highly interactive. Users can customize their views. It makes the experience more engaging, more useful.
Much more. It's a two-way street.
So we've got the systems bones, the infrastructure scalability, the interface. What's feeding the intelligence, especially for an AI product? It's got to be data, right?
Oh, absolutely. Data is the fuel.
Yeah.
And generally, you talk about two main types: structured data and unstructured data.
Okay, what's the difference there?
Well, structured data is neat and tidy. It's organized in a predefined format, like rows and columns in a database or a spreadsheet. Think customer records, name, address, purchase history, easy for computers to read.
Got it. And unstructured.
That's everything else. It's information that doesn't fit neatly into boxes. Emails, social media posts, videos, audio recordings, documents, support call transcripts. It's messy, but often contains really rich information.
Right. So for Innovate Labs, their customer database is structured data. But maybe the really valuable stuff, the insights, come from analyzing unstructured data like feedback forms or call logs.
Very common scenario. And processing that unstructured data is often where advanced AI techniques really shine.
And the whole point of wrestling with all this data is to become more data-driven, isn't it?
That's the goal. Being data-driven means you make decisions based on evidence from data, not just gut feelings or opinions. We strive to be a data-driven organization. It's about informed choices.
Using the facts.
Using the facts. And when you successfully analyze that data, what you're hoping to find is insight.
Ah, insight, the gold nugget.
Exactly. An insight is that clear understanding you get from the data, something that wasn't obvious before. It helps you understand why something is happening. Like, the analytics provided deep insights into why customers were dropping off at a certain step. That insight lets you fix the problem.
Makes sense. Okay, so we have the foundations, the data. Now for the really exciting part, the AI itself, the automation.
Right. Let's bring in the intelligence. Innovate Labs might start talking about things like a digital coworker or a digital assistant.
Sounds futuristic.
It's becoming quite common. These are basically AI agents designed to work alongside humans, taking over specific tasks, often repetitive ones. Like, our finance team uses a digital coworker to automate invoice processing.
Freeing up the humans for other things.
Exactly. Which leads us straight to automation. Automation is simply using technology to do tasks automatically without constant human input.
And the big benefit of automation is usually efficiency gains, right?
That's the primary driver. Efficiency gains mean you're getting better results with less wasted effort, time, or resources. And just to clarify, efficiency itself is about achieving results without that waste.
So they're directly linked.
Directly. The automation of reporting led to significant efficiency gains for the marketing team. Less manual work, faster results.
And more efficiency generally means better productivity.
Usually, yes. Productivity is the measure of output, how much work gets done effectively in a certain time. If automation makes tasks faster or easier, the team's overall productivity should increase. New software was implemented to boost team productivity.
Okay. And all these tasks, automated or not, they fit into a larger process, which we call a workflow.
Correct. A workflow is just the sequence of steps or tasks involved in a particular process, like onboarding a new customer or processing an order.
And optimizing that workflow can make a huge difference.
A huge difference. Optimizing the customer support workflow reduced resolution times. Streamlining those steps is key.
Now, you mentioned AI agents. There's a term I've been hearing more lately, agentic AI. What's that about?
Ah, yes. Agentic AI is kind of the next step. It's AI that doesn't just respond. It acts proactively to achieve goals. It can plan, make decisions, and take actions across multiple steps, often with minimal human oversight.
So it's more autonomous.
Exactly. Think of an AI managing a complex supply chain, predicting issues, maybe automatically rerouting shipments based on weather data or delays. That's more agentic AI. It has agency.
Wow, okay. That's powerful. But with that kind of power comes responsibility, I guess. Which brings us to the trickier side of AI.
The essential side. Once Innovate Lab starts deploying powerful AI, they absolutely have to think about the ethical side.
Ethical, meaning?
Meaning morally right, following accepted principles of good conduct. Is the AI fair? Is it transparent? Does it respect privacy? These are huge questions. We have an ethical review board for all our AI projects. That's becoming standard practice.
And a big part of the ethical discussion is bias, isn't it? AI bias.
A massive part. Bias is a prejudice or preference that skews judgment. If the data used to train an AI has historical biases in it, say, biases in hiring data, the AI can learn and even amplify those biases,
Which leads to unfair outcomes.
potentially very unfair. So, we must carefully check our training data for bias is a critical step for responsible AI development. It's really hard to get right, too.
So how do companies manage all this complexity?
Right.
Bias, ethics.
Through governance, you need strong governance or a governance framework. Basically, governance means the rules, policies, and processes used to manage and control technology and data use.
Like a rule book for AI.
Sort of, yeah. A governance framework is the whole structure, the policies, the roles, the oversight mechanisms. Establishing a robust AI governance framework is crucial for responsible deployment. It provides structure and accountability.
And within that framework, you might set up specific guardrails.
Exactly. Guardrails are specific limits or rules designed to keep the AI operating within safe and ethical boundaries, like preventing it from generating harmful content or making discriminatory decisions. We implemented strict guardrails on the AI's output.
Okay. Another challenge, especially with complex AI, is understanding why it makes a certain decision. That's explainability, right? Or model interpretability.
Yes, those terms are closely related. Explainability or model interpretability refers to how well humans can understand the reasoning behind an AI's output or decision.
Why that matters.
It's crucial for trust, especially in high-stakes areas like medicine or finance. For critical decisions, AI explainability is vital so we can audit the recommendation. You need to know why.
Got it. And one more term that's been buzzing around, especially with language models, hallucination. AI hallucination.
Ah, yes. An AI hallucination is when the AI generates output that sounds confident and plausible, but is actually false, nonsensical, or just plain made up.
Like it's dreaming?
Kind of. It's not grounded in the factual data it was trained on for that specific output. A key challenge is preventing AI hallucinations to ensure reliability. You want your AI to stick to the facts.
Okay, wow. So Innovate Labs has navigated the vision, the build, the data, the ethics. Now it's time for the big moment launch.
Exactly. The exciting part. This starts with deployment. Deployment is simply the act of making the system or software available for people to actually use.
Taking it live.
Taking it live. The deployment of the new AI feature is scheduled for Tuesday. It's the transition from development to production.
And once it's deployed, you need people to actually start using it. That's adoption.
Yes, adoption. It's the process of users beginning to use the new thing. High adoption rates are what you want. User adoption of the new tool exceeded expectations. That's a great sign.
Success. And after launch, you want to know how things are going, like right now?
Yeah.
That's where real-time insights come in.
Real-time insights means getting information and understanding what's happening as it happens, not hours or days later. The dashboard provides real-time insights into system performance, allows for quick reactions.
And how do you get those real-time insights and generally understand what's happening inside the system? You need observability.
Right. Observability is a bit more technical, but super important for complex systems like AI. It's the ability to understand the internal state of a system just by looking at its outputs, logs, metrics, traces.
You can see what's going on under the hood.
Pretty much, yeah. Good observability is crucial for quickly troubleshooting issues in our distributed system. It helps you diagnose problems faster.
And new systems rarely live in isolation, do they? They need to connect with existing ones. That's integration.
Absolutely key. Integration is the process of making different systems or software components work together smoothly as a single unit. You want seamless data flow between them.
We'll avoid those silos.
Exactly. The successful integration of the AI module with our existing CRM was vital. Makes everything work better together.
Okay, so all this effort, the tech, the launch, the integration, ultimately, for a business like Innovate Labs, it has to contribute to the bottom line, right?
End of the day, yes. The bottom line refers to the company's net profit or loss. It's the final financial result. Ultimately, this project positively impacted our bottom line. That's the language of business impact.
And ideally, that positive impact isn't just a one-off. You want it to be sustainable.
Sustainable, yes. Meaning it can be maintained over the long term without failing or depleting resources. It's about long-term health, not just quick wins. We're focused on building sustainable growth.
A long-term view.
Definitely.
And even after a successful launch, a tech product is never really done, is it? It's always a work in progress.
Yeah, always. Especially in software and AI. A work in progress means it's still being developed, improved, updated. Our AI platform is a constant work in progress, with new features rolling out quarterly. It reflects that iterative cycle.
Okay, what a journey. So let's recap for everyone listening. From setting a vision with a roadmap and a prototype driven by emerging tech.
To building the infrastructure for scalability and creating an interactive interface, all fueled by data-driven insights from structured and unstructured data.
Them powering it up with automation and maybe even agentic AI for efficiency gains and productivity, optimizing the workflow.
While carefully managing the ethical side with governance, guardrails aiming for explainability and avoiding bias and hallucinations.
All leading up to deployment, driving user adoption, monitoring with real-time insights and observability, ensuring smooth integration, impacting the bottom line, and hopefully building something sustainable that remains a work in progress.
Wow.
That covers a lot of ground.
It really does. You can see how knowing these words helps you articulate every single step of bringing a tech innovation to life. And it's not just about knowing the words, is it? It's about understanding the concepts behind them, the challenges, the strategy. When you start using these terms naturally in your conversations, in your emails, in meetings,
Yeah, clicks.
it really clicks. You understand the bigger picture in tech and business so much better. So the advice is listen for them, try using them. They'll become second nature.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that actually leads us with a thought, maybe something for you to ponder. As technology keeps racing ahead, what do you think? What are the next essential words or concepts we'll need to add to our tech and business English vocabulary? What's coming just around the corner?
That's a great question to think about.
Definitely something to keep an ear out for. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today.
Hope it was useful.
Until next time.